we need to confront these bad behaviors. And when we hear the word confront, sometimes that gives us a negative connotation. And people say confronting doesn't work, but not confronting never works. And we've been not confronting in healthcare for a very long time. You can confront people in a respectful manner and also show that you still care about them. What we have to realize is that we avoid tough conversations. It's just very hard for us to have courageous conversations with our peers. And that includes giving honest, constructive feedback. It could be a lack of courage. It could be a lack of skills. It could just be this cultural norm of being nice to one another. But the consequence is diminished trust, lack of engagement, and an increase in bad behaviors like talking behind people's backs, passive-aggressive behaviors, and what they call the dirty yes. You say yes to my face, but when you leave, you say something totally different. One of the skills that we can use is called naming the behavior, because many times when we see something bad happen or somebody is unkind, we don't say anything, or we react aggressively, or we just walk away and we stew about it, and a lot of resentment builds up. But say you're working with someone all day and every time you ask them to help you, they roll their eyes at you. And you might not say a word, but it's really getting under your skin. But then when you go on break and you're in the lunchroom, you talk to somebody else about that person's bad behavior. And it just starts that drama triangle instead of going directly to the person. So you might want to say to your coworker, hey, I just saw you roll your eyes at me. Are you all right? What's going on? Or especially when someone's yelling, sometimes people are so angry they don't even realize what they're doing or that people can hear them. So just stopping that bad behavior in the moment. Do you realize that you're yelling at Candace in front of people? And you may want to add, and patients and families can hear you. So again, stopping that behavior in the moment and just calling it what it is, but doing so respectfully. And then sometimes some people are really disrespectful and may call you a name and you just say, do you realize that you just called me stupid? So that's one of the tools, just naming it and getting it out in the open and saying, hey, what's going on? And then there's assertive communication. Do not confuse assertive communication with aggressive communication. Assertive is the type of communication that we should be having always in all aspects of life, personally and professionally. Assertive communication is honest, it's respectful, and it preserves relationships. People that are assertive, they state their opinion, but they are open and respectful to other opinions. When they have these conversations, they're not trying to win an argument, they're trying to build a relationship. And people that are assertive and speak up for themselves in a positive manner, they're healthier. They're healthier both personally and professionally. Because when we hold all of this inside and we let the actions of other people bother us, it builds up a lot of resentment. And what you wind up having in your culture is silence and hostility. And then the tank can really blow and you can have some big blow up. And these uncivil moments can actually turn into more aggressive forms of communication and even physical forms of communication. And so we want to preserve these relationships in our work environment. The tool that I love the most and that I use the most and that I coach my teams to use the most is called scripting. And they start with phrases like, help me to understand, ... I'm not sure you're aware of this. You may have to say, I'm not willing to even respond to that at this moment because it might be something really hurtful and you have to think about it. Or something like, I'm just offended by that comment. You can script a lot of things. Most people, if they've been in their work environment long enough, they know how their coworkers are going to respond to a certain situation. And many times when I coach my own managers, they'll tell me something happened with an employee. I'll say, let's think about it. How do you want to have this conversation so that it's a learning moment for your employee? They don't feel like they're being accused. You can have a two-way conversation and you can work on this together. And so sometimes that can take a lot of thought. For example, help me to understand, Sue, why when today I saw you give Kate, our new nurse, report, your body language was very negative. You didn't make eye contact with her. And I actually heard you say, go look it up in the chart. Is everything okay? Tell me what happened. So you can address someone's behavior, because when people hear, oh, I got to talk to them or confront them, it's like, well, they're not going to like me if I do that. But really, if you care about your coworker, you're going to talk to them about their behavior so that you can help them change it and work with them. But then you're saying, are you all right? Like, what's going on with you? So that's a way to script a response. It might not be something that you want to do in the moment. Sometimes it's like, don't do it today. Talk about it with them tomorrow. I love the one, I'm not sure you're aware of this. When I first started in my director role, I had an anesthesiologist that on probably 2 or 3 occasions, my door is usually mostly open or partly open, but he would just stomp into my office. He wouldn't even say anything to me, not even a good morning or hi. I'd like to say he pulled the pin on a grenade, watch it explode, and then just tell me to fix the problem, and then he'd march off. And after about the 3rd time, I said, geez, like, this isn't how I want to deal with this person. I want to be able to have a respectful conversation. So I thought about it and I said, what am I going to say to him the next time he does this? Because inevitably he was going to do it. So probably a week or 2 later, same thing. He comes into my office and then I just said, I'm just going to call him Dr. B. I said, Dr. B, just stop. And I said, I'm not sure you're aware of this, but since I've been here, every time you come into my office, you don't even say good morning. You just charge right in. You drop a bomb on me. You tell me to fix it. And then you just storm out. I said, I want to be able to help you. I'm here to help you. But I find your behavior and your treatment of me to be very disrespectful. Can we talk about this? And he kind of just looked. And we did talk about it. Now, did he do a 180? No. But I talked to him about it. And I said to myself, I wonder what's going to happen the next time. Because there'll be a next time. 2 weeks later, something happened in the unit. He came, but as he walked in my door, he stopped. So he had some self-awareness because we had that conversation. And he stopped and he paused and he said, oh, good morning, Diane. I have a problem. Can we talk about it? I was like, yay. That's what I said to myself. So here I am 2 years later in my role. What if I had never said anything to Dr. B? I'd still be frustrated. More likely I'd be angry. I would never want to talk to him, and I have to in my role. I probably wouldn't have too many things nice to say about him. I might be complaining to other people about him, and I'd be really frustrated in my job. And I'm not saying that he's perfect, but he's more respectful, and that's because I made him aware of that interaction we were having. So that's what scripting is intended to do.